Hey everybody, I'm Scott Zillner, and this is Toy Wizards, toy-wizards.com, and today I wanted to talk about a topic that's very volatile right now in the fan community, and that is the G.I. Joe Retro Line. This is made by Hasbro and is an exclusive to Walmart, which rubs a lot of feathers wrong in the way that Walmart has been handling its collectability, its toys, its mail order service, its pre-order service. A lot of people have had problems with that, and Walmart is taking heed. They're starting to behave a little bit. I have heard of packages being shipped with bubble wrap now. Like, they finally discovered that if you're going to ship a package, we might use some bubble wrap around that toy that's inside that box. So they are starting to hear us, at least in one corner of the collector community. A lot of people are upset that Walmart keeps getting exclusives. Walmart is the biggest toy buyer out there. Of course they're going to get exclusives. They are the biggest game in town. They have the most money to spend. That gives them the biggest amount of clout to get whatever they want. And they have been working quite a bit for retro toy lines. They've given us the He-Man Origin line. Well, at least some of us have gotten the He-Man Origin line. Ghostbusters Retro line came out, which was a fantastic toy, but rarely ever seen in stores. And when mine were shipped, every one of them was damaged. Actually, one didn't get damaged, and it was still shipped in just a bubble envelope. So, you win some, you lose some. Transformers has been getting a lot of exclusives, and they've all been like double what they should be, and everyone just waited for them to go on clearance. The G.I. Joe Retro line made a lot of people assume that we were going to get 3 3/4 inch figures. The name implied retro collection. People scour Walmart's database and released code names. Code names for the toys that were coming out and that were going to be revealed. And that led to speculation on what those toys would be, and eventually we knew what the toys were going to be, but we did not know what they were going to look like. Hasbro did a live Fan Friday event. They did it really early in the morning this time, and there was a reason for that. That reason was that Walmart's Collector Con was going on sale at 7 a.m. Pacific time, which meant the Hasbro live show started at 6:30 a.m. However, at 6:30 a.m., or even before that, because that's when I first went to the Collector Con page at Walmart, the figures were already posted for sale and already sold out. They didn't put pictures on stuff, but if you went through the menu select, you could say what items were G.I. Joes. And you could see the G.I. Joe items, and you could see they were already sold out. Then, on the Fan Friday event, with Hasbro live on Facebook, they showed off what they were finally going to give us as this retro toy line. And the retro toy line means packaging is what I have to assume, because the packaging was retro inspired. The figures that came with the toys were mostly 25th repaints, and then there was a couple even from like 2008, I think. I have to look that up. But it was like from a 2-pack that came out, was the last time they actually gave us G.I. Joes like that, was that. So the assumption of fandom was 3 3/4. What we got was more closer to the actual 4-inch figures that were part of what I like to refer to as the 4-inch figures, is just all the 25th anniversary line. Even if it was a 2-pack that wasn't from the 25th anniversary, that's where you're getting very specific. I love getting specific, but I'm not going to on this. The figures have already been released. The packaging was retro. But given the track record of other retro toys, we kind of expected we were going to get what we got for Ghostbusters, what we got for Transformers. He-Man Origins is a weird meld of the two. It's a retro figure with new articulation on a retro card. So that is different than, I want to say, the Transformers or the Ghostbusters, which are just clear-cut copies of older toys put back on the shelves because 40-something old collectors want to buy it again. I did. I bought them. I had other people buy them. There's 3 different card backs of the Ghostbusters I got to hunt down. I love that. That's great. With G.I. Joe, fans were outraged. And I wonder, is there any way to actually satisfy that fan service? It absolutely is fan service at this point. You haven't been given G.I. Joes for X amount of years, and now we have 2 G.I. Joe lines coming out, and people aren't happy about either toy line, then at what point is that entitlement beyond what fan service can provide? The retro line could have been something better, absolutely. But they went with what was easiest to tool, meaning what tooling do we have lying around? What can we reproduce? What's the lowest cost level to produce new figures? And they chose those figures to be produced. The Snake Eyes, the Baroness, the Storm Shadow are all 3 of, I think, the best versions of those figures. And they gave us a lot of weapons and accessories. They really packed that thing with a lot of stuff and gave us the best card art they could, except for Snake Eyes. They messed that one up completely. They made Ultimate figures as a retro toy line, but the figures weren't retro. 2008 is not retro. 2000 is not retro. Maybe 90s could be something, but even 99s kind of starts to go, well, is that really retro at this point? Maybe it is. It is actually 20 years ago, but not 12 years ago. Well, I guess maybe that still could be considered vintage or retro, depending on your point of view. The card art looks great. The boxes for the vehicles looks great. I cannot get an Ostriker. I don't know what happened with Ostriker. His tanks were readily available for quite some time, so they obviously knew that army builder, let's make even more than anything else. Ostriker, they're like, nobody wants that, and it completely gone. I can never get one. Even today, Snake Eyes had popped up again. We had done an article when this first happened, and stock repopulated that listing, and I was there for hours that morning on this thing. Stock popped up, you were ordering, and then as you were going to your checkout, stock was disappearing. We're out of stock. We're out of stock. Sold out. Sold out. And so some people could get stuff and some people couldn't, and then everything was sold out. I wrote my article, went on with my day to the next 5 articles because there was a lot of toy news. And later on in that day, items repopulated. They were now doing them in batch ways. And I think we'll start seeing this more in the future, especially from Walmart, to keep it all from selling out completely the moment it hits. They're going to just kind of slowly throwing stuff out. We saw that with He-Man Origins as well. Figures kept repopulating at random weird times, but like 6, we're assuming, we don't have the info on what the thing was, but a couple would show up and then get sold, and a couple would show up and then get sold. So it was a very strange world we were living in, where other orders for exclusive items like NECA Turtles instantly sold out, and that was it. That was all their stock. Go to a store and try to find it there. That was done. We're sold out online. Other things keep coming back up. So you never really know what's going to happen. Snake Eyes, the most popular of the 3 figures, obviously, repopulated the day after. I finally got some the day after the sale on Saturday. And then he's repopulated again today on Sunday. So there's still ability to get some of that, but Ostriker's out. All the other figures are out. The line is basically sold out. Sometimes we might get some crumbs. People are upset. Well, you should have given us something better. That's entitlement. It is. You may want something better, and as a fan, you vote with your wallet. And for a while now, Hasbro has not felt that G.I. Joe was worth your wallet's time. They are certainly pushing it out there now. This is talks for years I've even spoken with them, years since I even worked on the G.I. Joe line itself. I did do some paint work for them at one point. I even did a vehicle that still isn't released to this day, which would be very nice. You can't expect the company to make what you want them to make. They will make what they think they can make money on. Walmart will sell you what they think they can make money on. They'll put an order in because they know these are going to sell. And by selling well now means you can get more later. They're like, hey, we sold this many units. We'll order another batch. That's how sales work. Not because a guy at his computer wants, well, I want my Night Force, Flint and Lowlight character. Well, dude, that's a really low in the license holder, because what are they going to make before they get to that point? So they're not always going to make what you want. They're going to make what they know they can sell. That's why we got Snake Eyes, why we got Baroness, why we got Storm Shadow, why we got a His Tank. I mean, those things sell. I personally bought several. I needed more His Tanks. That's just the way the world works. Now, the retro figure line is kind of a misnomer on the title. It is retro packaging. So I would more along the lines call it retro packaging G.I. Joe line. And there we go, because that's what it is. It's retro packaging with modern toys. I even think 3 3/4 on the website listings is wrong, because I believe some of those figures are 4-inch, but I have to go find those older figures and see if they are, just how big they are. One thing you can buy, well, since those are out of stock, one thing you should buy is Larry Hama. Fresh Monkey Fiction, and they've already done the first one. It's sold out, Kickstarter done, bam, figure is in people's hands like mine. However, demand is high because Larry Hama is a national treasure. You can help order a second wave of this Larry Hama figure with a brand new hat that has a USS flag on it, because, you know, hey, he'd be hanging out on the USS flag. I should put him on my USS flag. Fresh Monkey Fiction can let you pre-order now, and if they reach their funding goal, they're going to go back and do a second wave of Larry Hama figures. He is a real American creator. He invented the G.I. Joe line, a real American hero that we all love and enjoy and that we're arguing about right now. This is a way to get Larry. Then when you can see him at a convention at some point, say 2022, he decides to come out of his apartment, he can even sign one of these for you. That would be fantastic. And remember to tell him thank you and ask him if he wants coffee, because often he's stuck at that table and he cannot get coffee, and he loves his coffee. So ask him whenever you see him, do you need coffee? If he says yes, get him his coffee. There you go. Fresh Monkey Fiction. I will leave a link down in the description so you guys can go over to that page and pre-order a Larry Hama figure. This figure, retro packaging. Ooh, retro packaging, yeah. Has an autograph section on the back. It's fabulous. It's incredible. Check out my review on this toy, and I will catch you later. That is toy-wizards.com for your daily toy news, and thank you for spending your time with me today and listening to my rant. Bye-bye. Ha ha!